Hi, friends. Welcome back to Wish You Love Podcast. I'm Marilyn.
And I'm Jazmine.
And thank you so much for clicking on this episode. If you want to follow us on Instagram, you can follow us at Wish You Love Pod.
We hope you guys have been having a good November.
Mm-hmm.
And to kick off today's episode, we are jumping into this month's ins and outs.
Right.
So if you are new here, welcome. We do this every single month. Just kind of fun to share what we're into and what's kind of like
I'm
going
done with
on.
that,
Yeah.
I know.
And then if you're not new here, let's jump into this month.
Okay, I'll do my in, then you do your in.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Love that.
Okay, so my in right now is reggae Christian music. I will put the link down below of just the band. They're called Christofari. They came to my church and played, and oh my goodness, it was such a vibe. They sang all the hits, like classic Christian songs, but they just make it reggae edition. And it is so nice because I already know the lyrics. And literally at that particular time that I had went to church, that night prior, I was singing this song that I really, really love. And then they played it. I was like, oh my gosh. And I was just like praising worship. It was so, so nice. So that is my new in, because remember how last time we were talking about music, I was saying, so I need new music because my music is getting tiring. And yeah, so now I have a whole band where I can listen to so many new songs. And so Christian reggae music is in for me.
I love that. I think I remember you mentioning, is that the band you mentioned Angel would have really liked it?
If he likes reggae music, yeah.
Okay. I don't remember, but I remember you saying
I think I
something.
asked if he liked reggae music. And
Yeah.
if the answer is yes, then yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only reggae music. I never listen to reggae music.
Yeah.
So that's my in.
Love
Very
that.
new for me.
Once again, Marilyn is such a mysterious person because I would never imagine you to listen to reggae. You just don't portray
I don't
that.
give reggae.
No.
What do I give?
Disney.
Oh, okay. I love that. Okay.
But okay. For me, my in is definitely Mediterranean food.
Okay.
I have been on a Mediterranean high. I'm crave. I really, really like I don't eat hummus, which is really weird because that's a big staple in Mediterranean food.
Yummy.
I know. It's just the texture for me.
Okay.
But I will say and everything else in sort of the pita bread, the sauces, the garlic, the veggies that they do. It's really delicious. I've been into kava lately. If you guys haven't tried it, I would recommend for you to try. It's a Mediterranean chipotle. So you build your own bowl and it's really yummy. I've been liking it. So yeah, Mediterranean food. I don't know why. It's
nice.
Just, yeah, my mom does not like it because she says I always smell like garlic.
Yeah, it's a strong scent.
But
hey,
I'm into it.
I heard that it's really healthy too, so that's good.
Yeah.
Great.
What about your out?
My out is actually a food, and it's not because I want to, but it's because I should type of thing. So let's see if I do good this upcoming month. We will see. But my out, I'm trying not to consume as much sugar. I'm just realizing that I love sweets. I'm not a salty gal. I don't have any spice. Sweet is my go-to. A nice ice cream, milkshake, pie, brownie, donut, pan de muerto, anything sweet. I'm let me have some.
Me.
Literally. And it's I'm just realizing, I think I tend to put a lot of fear in my heart sometimes. I need to go to the doctor because I'm I don't know why I'm scared, but my grandpa has diabetes and I'm oh my God, I don't want diabetes. And I'm what if I'm totally fine and I'm okay to have what I'm having, but I don't know why I'm just scared. And so I'm okay, I need to cut back a little bit. And so, but I crave it. I'm oh my God, I want it. But I know that sugar is actually an addictive thing to eat.
Yes.
So that's why I'm craving it, is because my body just wants it.
Yes.
And so I'm trying to say no to the cravings of sugar. I am not doing what Jazmine did, which was in January of no sugar. Can't do that. I can't. I know I can't. Okay. And I don't want to do that. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be miserable. But I'm gonna try to let's say I want a milkshake. I'm gonna say no to that milkshake. At least one thing. You'd be surprised. I have a sweet treat every single day. So I had a sweet treat today already in the morning.
We're still going to have dinner after this.
I'm going to try to keep my dinner not a sweet treat, but I wouldn't be surprised if I have a sweet treat. But that's my out. I'm trying to consume less sugar.
I love that. I know I had read somewhere, I think I shared this with you before, but sugar was created by scientists.
Of course.
And it was to cause addictive and health, main thing is to cause addictiveness. And I do agree.
Oh, it's so good.
We those that have this huge sweet tooth, which I'm on board too, like it is very addicting, where it's almost becomes for me, like I need to have something after each meal, like a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner. I have to have a sweet treat.
I don't ever want to be tied to anything, and that's how I feel. You know what I'm saying?
That was me with my Diet Coke.
Yeah,
remember?
I know. But
the same thing.
The worst
sugar,
thing is that yours was one thing. Mine is like anything sweet, which is worse.
Yeah.
I feel like it's worse because I'm like passing by a donut shop. I'm like,
But it's like so hard because like you were talking about like the month that I didn't do the sugar.
Yeah.
Which I've honestly thought about doing it again, but it was really hard because it's in everything.
Ketchup. I have ketchup every day.
There was nothing, like it was really hard to find ingredients that didn't have like sugar. Yeah. But I love that for you. I hope you're able to commit, except Thanksgiving. I hope you give yourself some room there.
I'm not psycho.
Yeah. Okay. So for me, my out, I had it. What did I say? My out is talking about influencer or like celebrity drama. If you come to me and expect me to sit down and have a full 30-minute, 1 hour, even 15-minute conversation about so-and-so from TikTok and so-and-so from TikTok broke up, or, I'm just not interested. Yeah. Like, I just don't really care or, like, really want to waste my time talking about that. Like, it's just not benefiting me whatsoever. So I think that's definitely an out of the month, and maybe even for the rest of the year for quite some time. I'm down to like talk about it here and there. Like, and of course I do see it on social media, so I will like read upon it and look at it, but it's not necessarily something I want to bring to the dinner table where that's what all we're talking about. Like, if you're not talking to me about your personal life and you'd rather talk about, I don't know, Jennifer
like
Lopez's or Kourtney Kardashian. Yeah, like I'm just not interested.
Like, I really don't care.
Yeah.
Change the channel.
Yeah, so that's my out.
Yeah, that's a good one. I will say I'm very selective on who I give a crap about. TikTok, I don't actually use TikTok anymore. I know you send me stuff and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have like 50 videos I need to watch. But I actually don't use TikTok anymore. And I'm like, who the hell gives a crap about TikTokers? Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't. Yeah. But there are some celebrities where I will talk about, like Kendrick and Drake beef. Like, I was all up in that. What else? Ice Cube and Fat Joe.
I don't know.
Okay. They're in the World Series. Okay, Ice Cube opened up. Fat Joe opened up. Different East Coast, West Coast. Ice Cube was way better, and I kept talking about that.
I saw that on social media. Yeah. A lot of people were saying it.
So there's like certain things I will talk about if I really like the person, like Ariana Grande. If something's happening with her, I'll tune in. I'll watch a video about it. Like, yeah. But
it's not your personality trait.
No, like I don't like talk. That's not like my main point of conversation.
Right. But I've have people around my circle where that's what they do. And I know like I have to like, I realize like scratching now your ears that off. I'm like, I need to kind of let them know. Like, I'm like, just not interested. Like, can we change the conversation? Like, I don't really care if so-and-so is pregnant.
Yeah. Okay. So Jazmine, actually, for the topic of this episode, she is going to bring it on, Jazmine, which I'm excited about because it's something that is very difficult for me. So go ahead.
Yeah.
Hit us with the topic.
Alrighty, friends. So for today's topic, I don't really know what to call it. Maybe it's just let's take this time to just reflect and really think about forgiveness and how important that can come and should be in our lives. I'm going to open up to something really personal that happened to me recently and why it impacted me so much and why I'm sharing this. But bear with me. I'm going to be a little bit vulnerable. I don't think I'll get emotional because it's really hard. I think I've only gotten emotional here once.
Right.
Yeah. So, but it is a very sensitive, vulnerable topic. So I will share that. About a month ago, I woke up to go to the gym, and I have this really bad habit, which I'm also trying to like cut off, which is immediately opening Instagram as soon as I wake up. That's just kind of like the only way I can keep my eyes open and like my mind distracted of not wanting to go back to sleep.
That's horrible. Mm-hmm.
So I do that. So I woke up. It was a Monday morning, I think. Monday or Tuesday or something. But it was a morning. It was during the weekday. And the first thing I see on my feed is a photo of someone that I once used to be friends with. Their photo was in black and white, and it had the year of her birth to 2024, aka she had passed away. So it was the announcement of this person who had unfortunately had passed away. I remember looking at that photo and like my heart dropped because I was like, oh my gosh, like how? Like she was only like, I think 30 or like in her early 30s, late 20s. Again, we no longer were in speaking terms, but she was still someone who was once in my life. I went to her proposal. I was part of her proposal when her now wife wife had proposed to her. I was, she was part of my graduation. Like there's just so many linked moments that we had together. And so it really impacted me because I was like, oh my gosh, like I know this person. We had a relationship. Like we had this friendship. We're not friends anymore, but wow, like I can't believe she passed. After hearing about that, I went about my day. I went to the gym. Everything was fine. I still was kind of in like disbelief, but I wasn't necessarily crying or anything. I was just like, okay, like so crazy to think that this happened. Like, wow, okay. Finally, it wasn't until I got to my office, I was at work, and I was alone because I'm one of the first people to come into office for my department. Everyone else usually doesn't start till like 9, and I come in at 7:30. So I'm there alone for a little bit by myself if no one else comes in early that week or that day. And as I'm sitting there typing, it just officially hit me. And I was like, oh my gosh, she passed away. Like she is no longer here with me or in this world. And the one thing that I kept thinking about and that I kept was playing in my mind was the way our friendship had broken off. And the way our friendship had broken up, it was very drama related. Of course, I've mentioned this last episode. I don't like drama and it tends to follow me sometimes. And so the way it ended, it was just very dramatic. Lots of things happened. My feelings were very, very hurt. She had caused a lot of damage to me and my character and like everything. People around me per se, like had shifted their perspective on me because of some lies that were told about me that she had spread. And so, like I said, nonetheless, it was just a very like ugly friendship breakup that we had. I decided to just walk away from that situation. You guys know, I think I've shared this before, like Angel has been such a good supporter when it comes to stuff like this in terms of like giving me advice and being there with me. And he simply advised me, and it's what I did, to just walk away and turn the page and go on to my next chapter. And yeah, not put energy on like that situation because I know who I am and I know the reality of what was not being said. And I just decided to walk away. Anyways, since then, there had been multiple times, I should say, where this person had tried to contact me to apologize and to say, that they were sorry for what they had done to me, that they had acknowledged that what they did was not okay, etc. And I always seemed to just ignore it because, again, my thought process that Angel and I have lived off of was just even opening it is putting energy into it, like not giving this the need to even say that it was seen, or not even liking it, or not even like saying or giving a response or anything. It was always just walk away, ignore it. Like it's not energy that you need, like, or a person that you want in your life. And so that was always my response to it. I just never gave that person the energy of acknowledging or even seeing her response or even letting her know that I received it. And that just kept playing in my head. I just really, really thought in my head, like, wow, like, I don't think I was the last person in her mind when she was passing. I don't even want to know or can think of like what was on her mind when this was happening. But I will say, like, it affected me a lot to know that I never and will never be able to give her the chance to know that I had seen her messages and that I had read that she was sorry, acknowledged that she had apologized. Maybe not necessarily forgive because of the damage of how deep it was for me and how impactful it was, but at least the sense of just, oh, like, I acknowledge that you're sorry, or that you sent this, or I read it, I've seen it, like, you know. And so I just wanted to share this story because it was really, really hard for me to like think about that when this happened. It was just like a disbelief and like just such sadness that I had in my heart because of it. And I remember calling Marilyn and I was crying. Like, I could not stop crying in the parking lot because that's all I can think about, and how like at the end of the day, she was a human being who deserved to at least know that I had received her messages and that I acknowledge her apology. And I just didn't do that out of pride, out of just energy, out of just blocking. And like I said, it really affected me because I just was so sad. I just couldn't stop crying, and it really was heavy. I remember in the end, Angel and I had gone to church that day because I really just needed to just cry in church. Like, I that's the only way I feel like I could maybe like be in some place that was peaceful. And so that's what we did. We went to church, sat all the way in the back, and I just went on my knees and I just started crying. And ultimately, well, I know God, and I believe in God, and I know that He, you know, is there for me, and that what I'm feeling and my sense of like, I forgive you and I'm sorry that I didn't give you the chance to know that, or to you know, to hear that, is now a little bit too late, right? Because she is no longer here with us. But I know that she saw me and she heard me, and that she knows that that was my response, and that I forgive her, and I acknowledge that she was trying to make things right. And so I share this because it really made me think of how we're all human beings, and like, grudges are not necessarily like the best way to go about life. And whether we think like, oh, in my case, like, I just don't want to put energy, in the end, it came back to me harder than I think if I would have just simply taken it on the first time, or the second time, or the amount of times that this person had reached out to me. And so, I don't know, I think I just wanted to, again, share this and just remind everyone, like, we are human beings, and like, we shouldn't be holding grudges, and we should just maybe not necessarily be friends with people again, especially if they've done damage and if they've hurt you. I also don't think we should necessarily like forgive everything that's been done either, because I know, Marilyn, you had said this once to me too, like, damage was still made, and like, hurt, like, my feelings, and to this day, like, the damage that was done, like, it still hurts, like, what was said about me, and like, false accusations about me, and like, the fact that even some of the people believed it in me, which changed my character. So I think that's important to also note, like, not necessarily like, oh, I just have to forgive everyone and like not forget like what was done, but it's more so just remembering that we're all human beings, and at the end of the day, like, we should just learn to love each other, even if that means just acknowledging an apology, or giving them the respect of saying like hi, or making things a little better. Not best friends again, not, oh, like, I'm just going to sweep it and act like it never happened, but just giving each other that sense of love and respect as human beings while we're here and before it's too late. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was my main message that I guess I wanted to share with you guys and really have you guys reflect on anyone that's around you. Um, I personally have a couple of people in my life that I no longer speak with. And I don't necessarily think I'll be friends with them again, but it has opened up a reflection for me to at least make things right. And I at least let them know that I wish them love and that, you know, I know a perfect example is with one friend that I used to be really close with, and I'm actually going to see her this upcoming week. And I'm going to just be opening up to her and letting her know like she didn't do anything to me. And I want her to be aware of that our friendship ended because it just ended because we were going on different chapters, but I never, not once, would I want to be in a position again where I'll have to think like I never gave her a reason why. Like, or she'll always think I like didn't want her or didn't appreciate her friendship. And so I just really want to like clear conscience and like clear, relationships that I have. And again, maybe not necessarily things are going to go back to how it once was, but at least we're both on the same page and we can wish each other love from afar and acknowledge each other, acknowledge, respect, and love each other from afar. So, yeah.
Oh, wow. Definitely a deep and hard message. And like I had said, something very difficult for me personally to do is forgive. But yeah, thank you for telling that story. I remember that morning you called, and Jazmine was very, very hurt. And Jazmine is somebody who loves hard, and she has a lot of good friends around her. But, things hurt her. Like we were in the last episode talking about the 16 personalities. Like, well, that one was more so criticism, but like if you say something about her character, it's gonna hurt her. Like some people are able to, like, people talk crap about people, and then people are like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's just not who you are. And the damage was even bigger than just talking crap about somebody. And it was trying to influence people on how they view you. And yeah, I had told her, and this is something to remember if you're thinking of somebody listening to her story and thinking of somebody that, maybe you want to reach out to, or maybe somebody who has reached out to you. Your pain, what you went through, what you endured is valid. It happened and it's true. Don't let somebody gaslight you or make you feel like you were the villain in the story. You're like, no, you did this to me, and that's the truth, So, and of course, everybody is the hero in their own story, and I understand that. But sometimes people do things maliciously for no reason. And I'm unsure why she tried to, spit on your name. But regardless, I know that she realized that she was wrong, and she was trying to ask for forgiveness to Jazmine. And I feel like what I had told her was like, it's never too late. Like, even though she's gone and she's no longer here, you can talk to her anytime. Like, she can hear you. She heard you in that church. I'm sure Jesus transferred the message, or she heard it herself. And I'm sure that in heaven, she's like, I'm okay. I'm sure she's like, because when you're in heaven, you're in complete peace, which I hope she's in heaven. But when you're in heaven, you're in complete peace. You're not worried about what was happening in the land of the living. But for us here, we think about what we've done or what we've said or what have you not, to like people who have passed. But as long as you ask for forgiveness and you realize your mistake, which your mistake was just not hearing her out, it wasn't anything else other than just that, but it was only because you were so hurt. But you realized it, you recognized it, and you realized, like, I'm never going to do that again. If a friend reaches out to me, I will respond by the minimum. So thank you for sharing this message. Honestly, I don't have much to say because this is something that I struggle with, forgiveness. I don't forgive easily, and I rarely do forgive, honestly. So that's why I'm like, damn, I have like nothing to input, because it's an ongoing thing that is difficult for me, even with the thought, Jazmine, even with the thought, like somebody that I don't really F with or whatever, even with the thought, if they died, I'm like, I still don't forgive you.
But I think also, like,
Yeah.
as women of faith,
I know.
It's
I'm aware.
that part
Yeah.
of like, if Jesus can forgive us
I'm aware.
at the darkest, deepest, then why can't we as human beings give that acknowledgement, respect, and forgiveness to other people?
Literally, my best friend was talking about this like 2 weeks ago at this point. She was like, she was just talking about her own personal life. And she was just like, if God could forgive me, then why can't I forgive her? Type of thing. And like, I know I've heard it, and I was like, it's still a struggle for me. I'm like, listen, God, I get it, but still, it's just something I'm working with. And I hope one day I can fully forgive, because I'm being honest. I can tell you I forgive you and whatnot, but how I really feel about you, I don't. That's not forgiveness. Forgiveness, what God tells us, forgiveness is a clean slate. Everything you've done, it's forgiven. I don't hold anything against you, and I can't do that. I'm gonna be real. Like, I can say I forgive you. We're cool. Maybe we follow each other. Maybe I just mute your stories or what have you not. But I still hold some resentment. I still hold that pain. So I'm saying I don't fully forgive. And that's a struggle.
We can acknowledge it though.
Well, yeah, that's easy to acknowledge for me. I mean, maybe other people. But you see what I mean? Like, I think forgiveness is very hard to do because it's a full thing. Like, you can say I forgave her, but then you're like, talking crap about her, or like, then you didn't forgive her then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard.
Very deep, hard thing.
For me, it's my weakness for sure. For sure.
Yeah. But I mean, I just hope everyone, I don't know, somehow maybe this inspires you. Maybe it doesn't, but I just hope, I think we need to do better in this world, especially in the world that we live in today, where there's just so much hurt and damage and devil being present everywhere you go.
For sure.
I think this is more than ever a time to really sit back and just clear your conscience and like clear people's conscience and like let them know and just like forgive. And I know, like I said, me personally, that's where I'm working at. And my first step was having lunch with that one friend. And I'm going to do that like I said, this upcoming week. So I look forward to catching up and again, clearing that up between us and going from there.
I will say one thing that I will do, because it is a weakness that I'm not actually really caring to try, honestly. So I'm going to try to ask God for strength. I'm going to ask him, please give me a forgiving heart. That's going to be my new prayer, that I will try to pray for it. I don't know if I will succeed one day, hopefully. I'm being real. I'm being honest. I could totally lie to y'all, but I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But it's your story is a lot of people I'm sure can relate. Death makes you realize so many things.
It does.
It does. I feel like every death I've had, I've realized a new lesson type of thing.
Yeah.
Because it makes you think about life and what's really important.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So to end today's episode, before we close out, I do want to acknowledge this person. I'm not going to name her name because that's not necessary. But I hope that if you are listening to this, wherever you are, because I know that you once were listening to our podcast.
Yeah.
I hope you know that I dedicate this episode to you, to the friendship that we once had. And thank you for the memories and everything that we had. And thank you for teaching me this lesson and opening my eyes and my heart. And I hope you know that your apology, I should say, is acknowledged and not fully forgiven, but I will get there. And biggest thing is I respect you. I send you love. I send you prayers, and I dedicate and acknowledge it and dedicate this episode to you. So I hope you're resting in peace and sending you love.
Yeah. And I'm sure that when we all go to the Lord, you will be her friend again. You will be sisters in Christ. And so I think that's something really beautiful to think of, that when you go up there, all will be forgiven.
Yeah.
And all will be set right. So it's good. But thank you so much, everyone, for listening to this episode. We encourage you and ourselves to find forgiveness for somebody who's done us wrong, even when it's really difficult. That is when we are really tested on our character, is when things are difficult to do and how we react on it. And yeah, thank you again for sharing this message with us, Jazmine, and just having us reflect again on our own lives of how we can be the best version of ourselves and find forgiveness.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in, for hearing me out, and same time next week.
Yeah.
Above all else,
We wish you love. Bye, friends.